Welcome back to my video. This is Adeline with Adejuan's Art Dolls, and I am here with Priscilla, my new baby that will be in the shop, and we are going to do creases on this young lady. Now, I've already done creases on her on one set of her limbs because it takes so very long to do creases. And so I know that I probably only want to take this video to 30 minutes. So I know it's not going to, I'm not going to have time to do all of it. But this is Priscilla. She is the Alexis kit by Cassie Brace Love. And she has her base layers of 3 base layers of paint on her. And so we are going to um, get right into it. But before we do, please go down and like, share, comment, and subscribe to my video. Thank you. Now, I'm going to use this little brush. See, it's kind of a little brush, but this one has a brush on the end and a pouncer. I'm only going to use the pouncer on this one, but I'm going to use this little brush because I like the size of it. So, and I also use eyeshadow, matte, high pigmented eyeshadow, which says is mine. I get it from Amazon, and it was inexpensive, but it does the job for me. Okay, and also we have a this is an eraser, but see it stretches. See how it stretches, and that's what you need. You need this kind of eraser. I also get it from Amazon as well, and this is the package that it comes in. Okay, so now you don't have to use very much of it. It comes in a cake, a little cake size like this, and I've had it for a little while, but ever since I've been reborning, and I've only used this much off of it because you don't have to use very much, and you can continue to use your little piece that you have. So, and that is to erase any powders that you get in a place that you don't want it. So, let's get started with creasing Priscilla and see if we can't bring this child alive a little bit. And I just kind of paint the creases where I want any darkness get into her eyes, the creases of her eyes, and in around her little nose. And I may have to use some um, paint to crease some of these areas because they, especially when it comes to the nose, I may have to do a little bit of creasing there with some darker paint. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and put a little brown up in her nose. And I'm going to do whatever I can do for the creasing. Inhale, little, what they call it, the angel's kiss or something like that. Some of this paint will not stay, but some of it will. So I just kind of, this is the first creasing that I do, and there's probably going to be another detailing once and later on in the process of painting her. I will go over to see what I need to retouch up. Now, I have quite a bit on her face. I'm just going to take the pouncer and pounce it out. And what that does is it kind of spreads it out and thins it out some. Okay, let's put a little bit more up under her eyes. And then we'll pounce that back out. Because here we're just staining. We want to stain the vinyl. This all helps bring the depth into her face. Let's see, I don't want that line to be that long. So I'm going to erase it off. It was probably that long anyway. Let me see, I may need it to do this side. And then come back that side again. And then I just bounce it out some. And then she has a deep little dimple up under her lip. Okay. And then you crease up under her chin. The crease lines to be all over everywhere. So I'm just going to wipe that off some, and then I'm going to bounce it in. And like the last time when I pounced it, I usually don't pounce it, but then I saw another artist creasing and pouncing. So I thought, well, let me go ahead and pounce. But I love using the powders to do my creases because not all of the creasing comes out. Some of it does when I go to put my layers on, skin layers, and when it does come out, it kind of makes it look like it's natural. Um, so I like uh, starting off doing my creasing because I want it to come off some as I paint. Excuse me. Okay, now let's get into this ear. Uh-uh. Wait a minute, y'all, because I touched this leg over here with my paintbrush. Sorry about that. But we don't want to mess up. Well, we don't have to mess up. And move that up a little higher out of the way because I'm a lefty. And like I said, I'm a wrong-handed. Kind of gets me in trouble sometimes just being left-handed. And I can't help it. It's just me. Some artists, well, I know when they do Caucasian babies, and I've seen it on melanated babies too, but when they do Caucasian babies, most of the time, they will use a dark purple, and it goes in the ear. They will put it in the ear, but me, um, melanated babies' ears are not dark purple. They are the same color as your skin, actually. And so, therefore, I want to try to keep things like they should be. And so, I am not using the dark purple in the ear, inside the ear. I'm just going to use my brown, same as my creasing. Just like I said, it will come out and then you will have to go back over it. And when you do, it will all come together. But I think pouncing it helps it. You're pouncing it into the vinyl, and so I think that kind of helps it stay on on the vinyl instead of coming off the vinyl. Okay, let's see the little ear. Mm, To me, that looks more natural. But when I get to the color of her skin, it will blend right in with her skin. But all of my paint with me will run in more or less a little series so that they can be put on in the playlist part. Um, but I will have other videos that I'm doing, not just paint with me. So there'll be other stuff on here as well. But I'm trying to keep my paint with me's all together so that you don't have to do a lot in hunting for them. Um, because as I build up my um, video library, then you may have a time trying to find the videos that you're looking for. And if you just look in the playlist, they will be there all together. Now it's kind of hard to see while I'm working on this, but I need to be the one seeing anyway. And then once I get done, I will show you how it looks. Some places got a lot of snow. Got that blast of snow that came through. We only just got flurries, but this is just a little bit early for all of this mess to start. Okay, now that's my ear on this side. See, to me, that looks a little natural, more natural. So let's see what else needs to be done to this baby, to the face anyway. I think I need to pounce out this side over here because I don't think I did that. Pouncing what pouncing does, it just makes it blend. You're just actually just blending it into the vinyl, making it look a little bit more natural looking instead of painted on. But this is, these dolls is our canvas. So, and I love painting these babies. These babies are just the most thrilling I've ever painted. Well, I'm not a painter. I've never painted. I used to do dibble and dabble when I was in um, high school, but other than that, I, I kind of lost it, and I just never picked it back up. It's so many other things came into play, so it just kind of pushed this on the back burner as far as me being, doing being an artist or anything. But then when I prayed about it and asked the Lord to put his hand on my hand so that I would be able to make beautiful babies, oh my goodness. Um, I noticed something too that I didn't do the yellow, so I'll get that done. In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and do that just right now. And there's no need in getting no whole lot of yellow stuff. You can just use a yellow. Let me see, I have a yellow marker pen or something that I was using for the yellow. Of course, when you need something, you don't ever find it. This is probably it. And I'm just going to go ahead and dibble and dabble on some yellow. And I want to put the yellow right above the eye, or right where the eyebrow is. And like I said, we're just staining, and I'm gonna use a sponge to blend that in. And we're just staining the vinyl. Uh, and then it goes right here and across the nose. And then you just blend that out. Okay. And that's what that looks like. And then if somewhere you put some green, um, but it's not a lot. It's not a lot of green. I think it is. Where do you put this green? Let me make sure, cause I don't want him looking want her looking like a clown. So let me go on the internet for just a second. And see if I can see it. Mm, and my pictures won't turn over so that I can see what they are. Okay, I am so sorry. I should have known where to put this green. I may not put it on here at all because I'm not sure where to put it, and this is taking too long. I'll be trying to bring that up, but I will wait on this screen. Okay. But I think that is all. I think you put some on your chin. Because these are places that's just going to be highlighted. They're going to be covered up anyway. You're not going to be able to see them anyway. Because like I said, this baby is going to be a little bit browned. And I think she was asking me to make her a little browner than the other babies that I make. Because I usually go for light and medium melanated babies. And I think she wants me to go a little darker with her. And so, and that's possible. I can do that. Um, but so let's get back to creasing. And we're going to be done with that. And then we're going to start on the arm and see how far we get with the, let's do the leg. It's the biggest, and I'm trying to keep it low. Okay, and right now we're running right about 25 minutes in, and I'm not going to finish this leg. I know I'm not, because I don't want to really be a long video, because I already know this is a long process. And so therefore, I think that if anyone is following me, they can get the gist on what I do when I do my babies. And that's why I changed to do the feet, so that you can, I mean the leg and foot, so that you can see what I am actually doing to it and how I crease this foot up. But I can also show you the other one in case I don't get this one all the way finished, because we're only going to do till a quarter till, if I don't finish before then. But as you can see, I just kind of go through the creases. I'm trying to kind of go fast so that I can kind of get most of this done. Because the foot is usually what has the most creases anyway. It's this foot. The feet on any baby has a lot of creases in them. No, I am a Western girl. I love Westerns. And today I ran across Wagon Train. And since I ran across Wagon Train, I have just really been looking at these old episodes, and I see a lot of the stars, like uh, Miss Chancellor was there. Oh, it's just been so many of the stars that you see, well, that you used to see. They probably all passed away by now, or some of them. And you know, you have to think that years ago they didn't have, Hollywood was westerns. It was all about cowboys and Indians. And so when you look at Daniel Boone and Wagon Train and Gunsmoke and um what's that other one? Um the Tombstone. All of those movies are what started off Hollywood. They're the ones that started the ball rolling with all of those movies. And Westerns, I guess, will always be because they were the beginning. But it is so. I love Westerns. I can sit and watch Westerns all day long. In fact, that's about. If I'm not looking at YouTube, then I'm looking at a Western. Sometimes I've just about seen everything on that I want to see on YouTube um, about these babies. And so I go back over and I look at videos over and over and over, the same videos, because there could have been something may have walked out of the room or something, and I may have missed something. So I'm always going back over to see if it was anything that I missed, or to see if I got a technique technique right, or got my paint colors right, or just anything. And so therefore, if I'm not looking at some Westerns, more or less likely I am looking at YouTube. 'Cause those are about the only two things that are going on in my life is some Westerns and some YouTube. And see, I have to keep up on my YouTube because, see, I have to make sure that I know what I'm doing. I have to keep up on that. But everything needs a break. And so when I take a break on that, then I go to Western. And then when I get tired of the Westerns, I go back to seeing what somebody has done new, or what somebody has done, period. Um, see what new babies is out there. But I love this. This is the most thrilling part. And people says, "Well, I love the paint, but I don't like rooting." None of it seems to bother me. Period. None of that. I can pick up a baby in a heartbeat and just start rooting her, because um it just doesn't mean anything to root. It doesn't bother me. It is just so relaxing. And as long as I'm in a relaxed space, I try to do a lot of my rooting in my room, because in my bed, but I try to do a lot of rooting there because I don't want hair all on my work table, um, in here where I'm painting. I try to keep them separate. Every now and then, when it's something I want to be looking at a video or something on YouTube and I want to root hair, because I never do one thing. I'm always doing one or two things at a time. If I'm watching YouTube, then I am more likely painting a baby, or rooting a baby, or something with a baby. Um, it's just as soon as I get a little bit into her, getting her ready, um, I'm going to pull out another one, baby. I want to do Chloe. I think she is a beautiful baby, and I want to do her. And so, I think that I'm going to give myself a little time in getting Priscilla up, and then I will do the Chloe kit. And we just have to come up with a pretty name for Chloe. I like that name as well. Okay, now I'm just going to do all of my pouncing at once. She's got some little fat rolls on here. And then I have a Ellie kit, and I have a Pickles kit. And those babies, they're big. And so, but I'm running out of space. And I'm running out of space to house these babies. And so I am going to start to go ahead and box them up, get their little box open and all packed up and ready to be shipped out because I'm running out of space to set them around. I had two babies in the bed with me. They wanted to sleep with me, but after they went to sleep, I put them out. They let me know that I did them wrong this morning. They wanted to sleep in the bed with me, but I have just gotten so used to sleeping by myself. It is just really hard to sleep with somebody. Even they little buzz. I just can't hardly sleep with anybody in the bed with me. Because I toss and I turn and I'm all over the bed. Okay, we're going to do this arm here. And let's see. This is not the one. This is where her fingers are on this hand. It's kind of a little hard to get up in there. And I love the way they are. Got some veining over here. In the little fat part, some veining right there. And some veining on her thumb. Like I said, this job takes a lot of doing. I want to pierce some ears, but I haven't made up my mind which babies I want to pierce the ears because for one, I haven't bought the earrings yet. So until that time comes, I will be trying to make up my mind which babies are going to get their ears pierced. Boy, it's been a long time just on this finger, on these fingers. Hmm. These beautiful fingernails. Hmm. I'm trying to work fast, guys. But anybody that's following me, like I've said, they should be able to follow me and do this part of it. Um, just make sure that you blotting off some of that um, um, powder, because when you first put your brush in the powder and bring it to the vinyl, you can't see it with the naked eye, but there's a lot of little brown particles of powder. And if you touch it, it's going to smear your vinyl. And so that needs to be either pounced off or blowed off, but you need to get that off. That's why sometimes you'll see me blowing, and I'm just blowing away those particles. The arm's not so bad. And see, now that I have this done, the next thing we will be doing is modeling. And then when I do the modeling, it really puts a lot of depth in the baby's skin, and you can really see where the baby is coming alive. Sometimes people would come by my booth and they I knew that baby wasn't real. Well, I mean, why would anybody set some babies on top of a table? Why? When you're out selling, you wouldn't now me, I wouldn't expect to be seeing those real babies sitting on a table, you know. So I don't know what they have in their mind, or I don't know if they think that I'm trying to fool them into believing that it is a real baby. I'm not trying to do that either. These are dolls. I'm just presenting a doll that looks human. And that's all I'm doing. I'm not trying to portray that the doll is a real doll, um, or anything. I'm just trying to present a beautiful baby, a beautiful doll from, I mean, dolls have really evolved since I was a child. Of course, that's been a long time. We'll just leave it at that. But that's been a long time. And so, um, I mean, even the stuff that people get nowadays for their children, their babies, real babies, um, that is, mm, honey, has evolved so much since I had my children, you know. And like I said, my son will be 50 years old Friday. So yeah, um, everything is just getting to be way, and I just don't know what some people think or have on their mind. Well, honey, these babies are beginning to look real, just like a lot of other things are beginning to look real. I looked at a lady. Um, she had she was showing doing a video on the robots for your home. He cooks, he cleans, he um, mops, he dusts the furniture. I mean, he does it all. And she was more or less concerned about he talks to you, he sings, he plays games, he tells jokes. I mean, okay, some things that he could do, I don't think that I want that because if he's introduced to a chore that he's not used to doing, um you can um it's some way that you can have the company interact with him to show him how to do the chore that you're asking to be done. And it's not anything that has to do with sex. It's not any sexual contact or anything. But it is look, she was more concerned that there was going to be a robot like on iRobot with Will Smith. Well, I'm a little bit. I I don't know if I really want one of them because he does have some sort of mindset to where he can talk to you, answer your questions, um, interact with. It's almost like he's having feelings. He has feelings, and now that's just going a little bit too much. that's that's going a little bit too much for me. So, but and very expensive. Um, he costs $20,000 or $499 a month. So she's a content creator, and she makes decent money. So she was getting one for her family so that she would be able to do a review on that baby. And so, yeah. So anyway, um, I just said that that's just going a little bit too far for me, and I don't think that I want that. But anyway, guys, we have got Priscilla creased. Now, the next thing when we come back, we will be doing modeling. Thank you guys for being here, listening to me chatter, and please come back to see what else is going to be happening with Priscilla. She's going to turn out to be a beautiful baby, just simply beautiful. So just come back and you'll see how she looks next. So thank you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. Thank you. Bye.